that as of this moment we are recording. So
this moment. This moment?
Yep.
Or this
Just for this moment.
All of them.
All of these moments are now recording.
It's an inclusive process. I haven't told
That's
it
true.
to stop, so cool. Hello everyone. Hello us. Here we are. And Ben, it's your show, so do your thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do we name this?
Who knows? Take
Fucking
20.
20s? Take 20. That's it.
It's fine. It's been like
back.
5 months.
It feels like it sometimes. I don't know. What had a longer hiatus, the podcast or the actual recordings?
I think the actual recordings.
They're probably actually just about even.
They
I
should
will know
be.
because we did. No, they're pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. I've forgotten everything that I do here,
Yeah.
including how to speak English properly. So welcome
That's
back.
fine.
Today we're going to go over episode 9 and 10, the Rolling 20s, and we are joined by our DM Fraya, Josh, plays Volcar,
I'm
Izzy,
here.
plays Quilly, Dani, who plays Kalis. How's everyone doing?
Pretty
Just
good.
terrible. Just hate being here.
Damn,
Worst
okay.
job. Yeah.
I'll log off, I guess.
You dragged. I just got home from work and you dragged me up over here
Yeah.
to
Right.
talk about fantasy with a bunch of nerds.
I
It's
had a
really
well-planned day of doing nothing, and now I'm here.
Now here.
I had a
Hey.
well-planned day of waking up, forgetting exactly when I go into work, so getting there an hour early, which was fine. 'Cause I just sat in the car and listened to episode 10. Then I got here and forgot that we started at 7:30 instead of 7, so I just sat in Discord for half an hour and apparently did not test my microphone or camera. So we're doing
Hell
great.
yeah. Crushing it. Awesome.
So, kicking? No, speaking of kicking the rust off the wheels, we go back to episode 9, which was another A episode.
Mm-hmm.
The letter A, just the letter
That's
A.
the letter A. Yep.
Yes, because I totally had that in notes that I may have deleted by accident.
Woo.
I was going to ask if we seen the beer ritual in the previous episode, but I think we did, and I just forgot it.
I don't think we
No.
did the ritual.
No.
No,
Okay.
there was no ritual. This was the first time willingly placing themselves there. So this is the first time we see
Gotcha.
the ritual.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, we start out in the crowbar as we start out a lot of episodes in the crowbar.
We start and end
Which is
our
fine.
episode there.
It's home.
base.
It's home.
It should
Yeah,
be.
it's home base.
I mean, I know it's a bit of a trope, but every great fantasy story starts in a tavern.
Of course.
Yeah.
As does this one, as does getting back into this. Very quickly, the drinking conversations turned into let's talk about Volkar's kinks.
Shocking.
Kinks has been an underlying theme in
Yeah.
this campaign, whether people like it or not.
I see Volcar as a pansexual demigod who it doesn't matter who, what, where. He's up for it. He has when you live in a frozen tundra, your options are very limited.
How very Greek of you. I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Let me put it like this: if Volcar wasn't a Viking, he would have been a. My second option was a basically Thelonious, a Greco-Roman inspired sorcerer of some renown.
And it seems some of that leaked through into Volcar anyway.
A little
That's
bit,
where
a
it
little
leaked.
bit, a little bit.
well,
That
Yeah.
you can blame like the toss up because I had just finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey and was starting Valhalla at the time.
it's all about the vids.
I understand.
Right.
But yeah, Volcar has kinks. Which kink was it in this one? I don't fucking remember
I
anymore.
don't remember. I didn't
weird.
write it down.
Too
You
many.
should have.
Too many to count.
Too many.
Most of them
count.
involve Milo, apparently by proxy, so that's
Jesus.
upsetting.
So as we're trying to remember both our characters and me how to host this, I did remember we have to go back to our favorite and only game here of Who Said It? That's right, everyone's favorite Take 20 of Who Said This Phrase.
Uh-huh.
We got to give Kayla shit. It's our binding ritual.
Oh man, that
Ooh.
That's definitely not
believe-
Kayla's.
That feels like a
Sure.
Volcar thing.
Bonding ritual, but I mistyped.
Oh, that's fair. I don't know, that almost feels like Quilly might have thrown that one out there.
It might be Quilly, or I'm thinking Derek.
I got
Yeah,
no
maybe.
idea.
It feels like a Volcar thing. I don't know
I'm
why.
saying Derek or Volcar.
Saying Volcar.
I love this game, especially when no one gets it right. That was Fraya.
Oh shit, it
Oh,
was me.
shit!
Why did I say we? I guess I give you shit all the time too. That's strange. Wow.
True. It is true.
Oh, everyone was just piling on at that point.
I'm
it was
more
like
of a dick than I thought.
it was like 10 minutes in.
Oh god.
So we get through the beer ritual, which ends on everyone's favorite at once at the highest, loudest volume you can say. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's all of us, no?
I'm just
Yeah.
imagining downstairs in the tavern. There's like
What the?
they're definitely
I mean-
having an orgy up there.
In my
They're
head,
definitely
I-
having an orgy up there.
In my head, I'm always thinking it's probably too loud down there for anyone to hear it. It's a tavern, right? So they're
Well-
probably already in.
I mean, you're the only patrons at 4 in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
two notes. I was gonna say, A, you're not there when other people are.
I guess that's true.
They definitely heard it downstairs, I'm sure, but it's fine. I did have a thought, and I was like, it's a shame none of them are downstairs for me to cut back to someone like Isolde responding to this, but it doesn't make sense right now, so I just let it go.
That's fair.
And then immediately, all of the players and everyone here at least is kicked into secret chat.
Yes.
The viewers are introduced to Melody and Ivy.
Yep.
And get a little bit of their backstory. They are associated with A somehow, and they was just like, "Hey, give us your assessment of this group of adventurers." Meanwhile, I always love to ask this because I'm curious. This was a bit of a long intro for you guys to just sit in a secret room all by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you remember
course.
anything of the dread, or just like, well, what do we do now?
I remember exactly what we were talking about.
What?
Because it developed into oh shit, that's Melody. Because we did see, of course, the lovely lady who popped into the voice chat, as well as we might have been talking about some other like Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yeah.
Or some references or something. That's normally what I feel like we do when we're
We
in the secret
usually
chat.
devolve into petty fan arguments, you know.
Yeah.
Just like Spock's ears were only 3 inches, not 2 inches, you fucking jackass.
Yeah.
Like some weird shit like that.
No, but we were in there for like a hot minute. So
Yeah,
it was
like
"Oh,
5
what's
minutes.
happening?"
Yep.
So it was either really good or really bad.
Yeah.
Which was it? Was it really good or really bad? You tell me.
Yes.
Yes.
Just like
Yeah.
your solutions to the problems or puzzles set before you.
Exactly.
Good, bad, all around.
Oh boy, I forgot that this is
Yeah.
an A episode, so we get to go over how long it took you to get to the solutions.
Oh.
Yeah, the first I believe this was the first one we went into was a room that had like basically a stage, an amphitheater, scales,
The one that
frosted
we
over windows.
failed at spectacularly.
Yeah.
like truly spectacularly.
It takes a certain level of dumbassery for A just to go like, you know what? Just go.
Yeah.
This didn't work.
No, it was just us like literally throwing shit against a wall and seeing what
Yeah.
stuck.
we got the answer, but none of us just had like alcohol on us on our person.
Yeah.
Got
Hey,
near the answer, I'll say.
I was close. Okay.
You had
All-
alcohol in your person.
In your person, exactly. And then the only way that you retrieve that from inside your person is to
Expel it.
expel it. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
go with that.
Yeah.
That's
So,
that's the one.
Yeah, this one went well for me. I had fun. So when I made it, I wasn't anticipating that you were all already going to be inebriated upon arrival. So that made things really funny for me. And I have no idea how long these rooms take because I lose track of time when we're in game.
Oh
So
boy.
this one had to have been long. Especially because we had a lot of tech issues too, so it really scrambled our brains in the middle of it a couple times. So that didn't help us. I remember that being very, very annoying for me.
It was quicker for me, I'm sure, because you had to restart 30 times in the middle of that.
Yep, I had to restart my router and to restart my computer and a bunch of shit. So it was the first half of this episode was a mess to record. Hence why for the video I just gave up on adding any of the fancy layout stuff. I was like, I'm done with it.
I just thought you hadn't set it up yet from your move.
No, I just I editing that video was a huge pain in my ass already, and I was like, I just need to get this thing online. It's whatever. Go look at any other video to see what the layout actually looks like. You know, it is what it is.
Do you have the full poem, for lack of a better term, that was in that?
Oh,
Because I only have the quotes. Yeah, the clue. Because I only have. Oh, where'd it go? I only have those who keep spirits most pure.
Yeah, I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Did I actually organize my stuff well? I should have. Should be here. Yes, there it is. Yes, it is one finds oneself near, one finds oneself lost. To find oneself here in safety from frost. Those who may pass keep spirits most pure. Make ready your plea, for that is the cost.
So, timestamp wise, about 30 minutes to get through all of that. The only thing I latched onto is those who keep spirits most pure, which is about what you guys latched onto. In the
Eventually.
meantime,
After I
some
told
of the some of the attempts included, I think Volcar and Kalis tried to climb on the scales to see if it moved.
It was a mess.
It was a mess.
It was
a mess.
for a mess.
One of my notes was bad snowball.
Oh yeah, there was this like a half snowball fight at some point.
Yeah, Kalis tried to throw a snowball. It didn't roll well. Volcar tried to catch it. Rolled okay.
To be honest, I'll tell you my logic behind it is like whatever keeps spirits most pure. I was like, hey, spirit pure, child, have some childlike energy. That was actually my logic behind it.
It honestly, it was given what you had seen of A's disposition before, that was actually a very clever attempt there. I will say, however, this is the only time I have set you up for failure in the campaign so far.
Son of a bitch!
I intentionally made this room so convoluted and difficult to figure out that you almost couldn't, because A is experimenting, and hence the ending of him being like, I gotta scrap this. Like, this didn't go well, because you're his test group, essentially.
This is guinea pigs.
So
it's actual guinea pigs.
This wasn't like you guys failed. It was I intentionally set this as the first one to be like that poem. Cool, love it. What does it actually mean for the room? Almost nothing.
Yeah.
There's one line, which is the one line you're gonna focus on, but completely in the wrong way. I built that to be just a giant, kind of a giant fuck you, I guess.
Well, it worked.
It worked. And we got Kalis trying to drunk vomit onto a scale in the snow. So
Yes.
Volcar went up into the seating and just tried to have like a moment alone to think or give up.
Yep.
Ivy's pulled out a pocket violin, which is fantastic.
Yep. Ivy's amazing.
I had a note where I thought of Distiller for the Keep Spirits Most Pure at timestamp 50:30. 15 minutes later on the YouTube video, so possibly, a downtime or two, the group finally arrived at, spirits, alcohol.
After I literally had a bold and underline the word spirits. Yeah, it was good.
And then I didn't even separate this note. It's just Kayla's vomits. I'll scrap this one. This would be great to tell Derek when he comes back.
Oh shit.
That is true. We lost our Josh. Oh, we lost him completely. He's out of Discord.
Yeah.
All right.
To go.
Oh, he had to leave. Okay, that is fine. Cool. Let me move you two over here.
And then there was
no! Now we're not the same size. How's that?
Oh,
that's
no.
roughly fine. Yeah, right. That's horrible, wasn't it? We're roughly here. Okay. Put that here. Put this here. It'll be fine. And look at that. Just off enough that it'll annoy the shit out of me when I edit it, but whatever. Vorpal board's so weird with resizing. So anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah, I guess Josh is so still in character from this episode that he needed to go take some time for himself to think.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing with lighting. Don't mind me.
That,
But yeah, so Ben, any other notable things for you in here?
Not for that room.
I wonder what that
we get to the next room, which is the
break room.
Is it the break room? Yes.
Yep.
It just says break room. My next note is just Ivy's the new brains. She used herbs to calm down everyone's stomach.
Yep. That was a great moment.
Makes sense. And oh boy, the break room. At least everyone had the same thought right away.
Yeah. Hey. We might not have. That. Yeah, we might not have many brain cells, but the ones that we do have, really sharp.
They're all geared toward destruction. That's it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which is it was just a fun room. All right, so I think it did start off with Volcar grabbing a fistful of uncooked pasta to eat.
That did happen.
I did spoil. Unfortunately, I had another who said it, but it's I'm eating my pain away right now. Don't judge me. Which is fair.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
Is that a Volcar?
That was Volcar, I believe.
That was Volcar. Yeah, with the uncooked pasta,
Yeah.
Eating my pain away, that is funny.
Little did he know, in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I forget the exact series of events that happened here because it becomes very chaotic very quickly.
Oh, I have quick notes.
Hell yeah.
Good luck discerning them. I have a note that I think was Quilly and Ivy, but I don't know. The note was small world, isn't it? No, it's pretty big actually. Made me laugh.
That might have been a Kayla's thing.
Might have been Kayla's.
I don't remember. I know it was Ivy.
What was the line?
It was something about the Phalans, right?
Yeah, we were talking about she was from the Feywild, and then I brought that I'm from the Phalans, and then obviously Theron had time in the Feywild. I don't know. I think it was maybe Ivy or Theron who said that.
Yeah,
someone was like, small world, and Ivy was like, actually, it's fucking huge.
Yes, it made me laugh so much. Boy, do I have quick notes. Quilly rages, teleports.
Yep. That one was a
Yep.
fun one. There's so much on my table I have not been able to explore yet. And when certain things come up, I'm so excited for it. But yeah, that was a good one. It's basically just Misty Step, which is not too bad.
Yeah. Oh man. So refresh my memory, Izzy. So that's the wild magic table for you?
Yeah, so it's different than the sorcerer one, I believe.
Okay.
It's nothing really bad on this one. It's mainly like combat stuff, and like things that help. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but eventually maybe I will play a wild magic sorcerer because
That's
I've seen some crazy shit on
that's
that
one of my next characters has to be wild magic sorcerer because I'm just like I just want chaos. I want random and chaos.
Mm-hmm. If that hurts your
Um,
party or not.
That's episode 10. Anyway.
We'll get there.
So then that does that trigger every time you go into a rage? You get to roll for
Yes.
that? Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. Oh. I just looked at my next note, which is just Kalis Rave Girl.
I still so badly want a comic strip of this scene. Kayla's covered in the paints. Was it you and Izzy? Sorry. God damn it. Now it's even worse because we have Ivy, we have Tinny, and we have Izzy, and we also have Tilly the cat. So I'm gonna get all of them wrong now.
I believe it was
Ivy.
Quilly.
Was it? No, because you were
was
playing
Quilly.
baseball. Someone was playing baseball with some of the jars, and like
was
the
Ivy.
car
That was
gets
Ivy.
involved.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was
Was it?
staff. Yeah,
Yep.
because Quilly was just freaking out in the corner, beating shit up.
I was
Oh, yeah.
jumping around.
Yeah. I imagine little chibi Quilly just smashing stuff.
Just going from wall to wall.
It's just like when a cat enters murder mode, it's just like the little slits in the big eye.
Oh yeah.
Fully dilated.
Yes.
Yeah, so good.
Derek cast in large.
Yes,
I did.
on me. On me.
Both of you? Was it both of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of us.
Yep.
It's
Oh
terrifying.
my goodness! In this super cramped break room.
Mm-hmm. Big beefy characters in a
and
cramped brick.
A cube underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Volcar and the rocking horse happens.
Volcar hobby horse slip and slide.
Bowling ball, like, oh my god.
Oh,
And he hits the glittery jar.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. It's so stupid.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love it so much.
Oh, so good. And then
Isn't
someone
like thunder waves a bunch of instruments or something.
Someone would like
Ivy.
thunderwave the room. Yeah.
Ivy,
And it
yeah.
went everywhere.
somewhere
Chaos.
woodwinds and set
Oh,
off
yeah.
a cacophony of noise. Yeah, that was a good touch.
If there's one thing we're good at, it's causing absolute mayhem.
Yes, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but all fun things come to an end when someone decides to break the wall of the underwater bubble you're in.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That was me.
Yes, it was.
Part of me was tempted to just turn that into this like horribly like slightly too long like realizing you're beginning to drown scene for everyone and then just like yanking you out of it, but I was like nah. That's too hard for this.
Was that? I'm curious. Was that actually the answer to the room, as in to break the wall?
Oh no, there's no answer. He's just giving you a break.
Okay.
Whether or not you
Fair
did
enough.
anything, he was gonna antagonize you if you stood there like a bunch of lame asses. But whether or
Just
not you
not
did
do
anything
anything.
after a certain amount of time, he was just gonna move you on. It was just a break.
Maybe Kalis is just slightly suicidal. He's like, yeah, come on, bring the ocean. Come on.
I think
Yeah.
Kalis more. This is just fan theory, so you can shoot this down. But Kalis is more of just like, I can take it. I think my body can handle whatever.
I think that's actually
she's
really
invincible.
fair. I think that's really fair. I mean,
You can break that wall.
Yeah.
He's pretty bold.
I think he's not the brightest. I don't think he thinks 2-3 steps ahead. I think he's very like narrow-minded, but
Yeah.
when it comes to what he wants to do, I think he probably does it well. But In this case, he does, but whether that was a good or a bad thing.
But at
who
what
knows?
cost?
Yeah, but at what cost?
For me, the way that I view Kalis is when he's outside of his situation, he's very rational about it. But as soon as stuff starts, he's a bowling ball going down the lane, and he just does what he does, and then he'll figure the fucking rest out of it. later.
Consequences are a absolute afterthought.
Yes.
He's the epitome of like, okay, here's the thing. We don't want to start shooting at first sight. But if it comes to it, I'm pulling I'm pulling out both of my machine guns out, spraying, and then I might ask questions.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna try to prevent that as much as possible.
He pretends to have a brain cell.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I'll also feel really guilty for it afterward.
Yeah, and then I'll feel really, really bad.
I'll overthink after.
It's like it's legitimately like a golden retriever when they hit over like a vase, right?
Yeah, and they know they did bad.
And they know they screwed up. It's
my
like
God.
that.
Alright,
can
someone-
totally see it.
We need Golden Retriever Kalis, and we need Red Bull Kalis. We need these variant skins for whenever the game comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
I
I think Kalis, he's a smart variant for me. He's smart until he's not, and then it's very extremely not.
I'm surprised at this point. Is like, to be honest, by the amount of stupid shit he does, he definitely should have multi-class like barbarian right away just for rage,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would have been crazy.
right? But it's okay. It's fine. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
A one-off.
Yeah, a single level.
Yeah.
That's all they get. Single dip.
I was gonna save this because like I was thinking of this for the whole Milo situation, but also Kalis kind of embodies this. My brain broke for a second and forgot the phrase, so I said consequences have actions. Which describes a lot of these past two episodes.
Yeah.
And
So
most of this campaign.
weirdly, sorry, this layout is just wrong enough, and it's annoying the hell out of me. So I'm gonna be micromanaging it as I talk for a bit.
Like me and the lighting
Oh,
that
it's
I'm
just so
fighting with.
wrong. I gotta stop looking at it. Anyway, Ben, Tom randomly sent me a quote. This was like 4 or 5 months ago, and it was like something like biblical sounding, and part of it in the quote was and his consequences have actions. So that phrase has actually been in my head for months now, trying to figure out what to do with it. So that's very surreal for me to hear.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible. Simultaneous discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Or serendipity or coincidence. Any of those words, right?
Yeah, just pick a hippie word. It'll
One of them. Alright, so back to the next room, which...
Oh
which-
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Disclaimer.
Ethan.
Disclaimer. This is the best thing I've done in my life. That's it. I've won. I will. That's the height of the campaign. We've already reached it. It will never get better than this. I'm so sorry, everyone.
What do you mean it's the height of the kitten?
So Ben, I would love. So by the way, I had to cut out a big section because I had to individually send everyone their stuff, and my computer was rebelling, and then I accidentally flashed Volkar's art on the recording, and it kept showing all my Discord conversations, and I was like, I hate this. So I cut out like 7 minutes there. So for you watching, it was just like, there we go, you have your stuff. But there was a lot of suspense as it took me 5 minutes to send it to everyone in order, starting with Kalis, who had 5 minutes to think about that one.
Oh my god. It was so difficult.
Oh, I see.
I want, before we take like questions and we chime in, Ben, what is your experience of this? Okay, just talk me through this. I'd love to hear it.
Scene in Anchorman where everyone's arguing and Brick just yells, "Loud!" That is literally my note. It's just loud noises.
That's perfect.
He's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Took me so long to figure out what. Like I knew everyone had something different. but it took me so long to parse, like, what are we doing to get out of here? Is this a room? I know it's a cave. Derek helped by just walking along the perimeter. I'm like, okay. And then finally it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, okay. Like everyone had something different. And then there was kind of like the trust fall room. But getting to that stage was 15 minutes of. I had so many wrong guesses at first. Let me see if I remember, because I was like jotting down, and I shouldn't have deleted. But now, let's see if I remember. For Kalis, at first, I thought he just was deaf, so he was just yelling. Didn't
Fair
quite
guess.
pick up at first that it was just to talk over everyone else. Volcar, I thought, just had super sensitive hearing and was getting hurt if people talked, and really hurt when Kalis talked. Derek was blind, which, all right, made sense. Quilly.
It was so hard. It's one bold of Fraya to assume that I know what a noun was off the bat.
It's right.
Yep,
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. No, you played it well, because I got that one right away. I'm like, Quilly can.
Okay, you did? Because I
Yes.
didn't. I was struggling.
I know.
No.
I'm so sorry. You honestly did a pretty damn good job. There are some slip ups for sure, but once you kind of like fell into it, yeah. Again, I didn't like pre-plan who was getting these, so I wasn't targeted.
I had to go back to English class. I was like, I literally had to Google, wait, what's a noun?
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Holy fuck. Holy shit.
It's like,
okay, that makes this so much better now.
Because Izzy, I thought I had yours right away, and then after a little bit, I must have tuned into a slip up. I'm like, ooh, is it more general than what I thought? And then you went back, and I'm like, oh,
However you want to interpret it.
no, you got it.
What could you possibly have established what was going on with
Yeah, I'm
Ivy?
surprised you got anything.
It was normal. I didn't get it until the very end.
It
I'm
was
like,
so
wait.
subtle for so much of
Yes.
it. So
Yes.
That
subtle.
was really subtle.
I
There's
thought
so
It was
many-
very satisfying when we
so
found out
many
what
of the
Kalis
phrases.
was. So.
Oh my god, that is my favorite moment. I still need to clip that. But so many of the phrases for Ivy were things like "no way," but with like 5
Yeah.
different inflections. Just a bunch of O's, ahs. I strongly dislike your chin. We got that twice,
Yeah.
maybe 3 times. I swear to God, the 100 is so you've seen that. Did you ever have a dream, kid? Right? It was that. It's the whole thing. It's the entire thing.
God.
Yeah. So that didn't come up. But there were a whole bunch of very interesting ones that I wish showed up and didn't. Like one of them is just screaming, "Get your hands off my son." So
I wish that one came up.
I will I guess I'll just explain what everyone got, just for anyone listening and any DMs who want to just use this. It's amazing. The core idea is not something I came up with. I changed stuff. I added some stuff, whatever. So there's a lot of ways you can do this. But essentially, each individual is given a curse, a cursed compulsion. And the way out of the room is for the party to figure out and verbalize what is happening to the other people. Which is difficult, clearly. So I had everyone roll. It's a D20 roll, and Dani here got the highest and was like, "Yes, it's the best." No, it means it's the first one. I could have done a D6, honestly.
Isn't it like
but-
I think I got like a nat 20 or something.
Yeah, you got something absurd like that. Like, surprise, Dani rolled a 20. Crazy.
Hey, I am both high and low in terms
Yep.
of my rolls.
Yep.
Okay, I either get the fucking nat 1 or I get the 20. There's no in between, and that's the way I like it. Okay.
And in this case, you got both at the same time.
Yep.
Because, quote, "You cannot speak unless someone else is speaking. You are then compelled to talk loudly over them." That's the entirety of his curse. Okay,
So
so now
bad.
when you add Discord and technology lag, it can be a little bit hard to do. But the way it came through on my end was almost perfect for most of it. The second one, you cringe sharply and audibly in pain or fear whenever you speak or hear a word containing the F sound. So, you know, I'm glad Josh got this because that man can scream.
Oh,
I
yeah.
committed so hard.
I was listening to that bit on the drive home, and the entire time I was thinking of how to say the most F sounds to whatever was going on at that moment.
So amazing. The third one, you cannot say any nouns except pronouns. The only exception is thing. So no nouns, they're all things. Clearly, there were a couple slip-ups, but like I'd say like the second 2/3 of it, you were pretty consistent with, and it was hilarious. And I don't even know, I didn't notice too many other people actively picking up on that. So it's just this like little tiny undertone of confusion that for me, knowing everything, it was beautiful. So the fourth one that Derek got was, you become blind and cannot audibly tell who is speaking. If anyone's name is said, it is muffled to the point of being entirely unrecognizable to you. So he had no idea what anyone was saying or doing, and he was blind, and everyone sounded like they had the same voice. So, rough. And then the fifth one, which Ivy got, each time you wish to speak, you must roll off the following D100 chart and can only say the word or phrase that you get. So she would roll a couple in a row and kind of like backlog them, and then wait for a good moment, and then just like say 4 or 5 of them like pretty quickly. One of them that I know she got was, quote, incoherent mumbling for 10 seconds. And it's just so beautiful. It's just like Kalis is screaming,
Okay.
Lily's trying to talk, and you just hear in the background Ivy just.
I
It's
thought I was
so
missing
subtle.
something. I thought
It's
the
so
mic
subtle.
was so too quiet.
I know,
Oh,
and there's so
okay.
many and so at least almost 20 of them are the word fuck.
Yes.
I didn't think of the other one on the list here when I did that. I just thought fuck is the best word in the English language, so naturally. And as soon as she got it like 2 or 3 times early on, and Josh is screaming, I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Too much synergy. So, anyway, that was that. There's innumerable curses you could add to that and make that interesting. As long as, I will say, DMs out there, know your party, know your players. If your players aren't going to be super in character and commit to this, this is going to be a horrible, miserable time for everyone, and it will go very poorly. If, however, you have been blessed by the gods above for a party like this one, who will, without question, scream at each other for half an hour, send this shit. Oh my god, I had to mute myself. I was laughing too hard.
If you have a bit, you commit to the bit. You gotta commit.
I have 3 things to put in here. Izzy, did you take the dragon's breath before this whole
The dragon's
encounter?
breath?
Or was that after?
I think after. We
Okay.
got rounds for everybody.
That's right. All right, so then never mind for that. 2. Oh, what was I thinking? I think I've lost the second one. It was one of the had it, lost it. I'll come back to it. But 3, yes, commit to the bit. I'm in a campaign where my very smart necromancer was had an intellect devour encounter, and their base intelligence is now 5 instead of 18. And we were against one of the bad bosses, and I was just going around. We have a campaign, another character called Murak, and we picked up a doll who's just a rock creature. It's like rock, rock, and they're like, no, Murak is 1. It's like Murak. Meanwhile, like the big boss is like at us, and everyone's at like 2 hit points, and I'm like, nah. This is what I'm going to do.
More important.
Good.
This is more
Good.
fun. We didn't die, which is good.
Wow.
If we were going to die, I was going to take that more seriously. But yes, commit to the bit. It's more memorable
It
and
is
way
a lot
more
more
fun.
Yep.
There's so many just amazing moments of me watching Dani waiting for someone to talk so he can yell. And just staring in anticipation, and then just
In my
screaming.
head, I was
oh,
like
it's so
this.
good.
I was so ready. I was like, next person who talks, I'm gonna absolutely jump on that shit.
God.
And then they're gonna be so confused because like, why is he yelling? This isn't.
30
Yeah.
minutes of us just losing our minds.
It really is.
Yeah, it's chaos.
But it's wonderful.
Yeah.
There was another bit, Fraya, and that now I remember the last point I want to ask about. You were telling, was it Quilly or Ivy, that like their compulsion is increasing in, I thought it was the break room. Or am I misremembering?
Ivy in the last
Ivy.
bit.
The last
Yeah.
wrong room.
That was growing. That was getting more intense as we went. Hence why we start finally realizing like, what the fuck is this lady saying? What are these things? These are weird as shit.
Hey, wait, what?
And I have my reasons for that, which I won't share.
Okay.
But yeah, that did happen.
So we got through that. Everyone figured out. Kind of everyone figured out everyone else's.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. My next note. I don't know why, but it's. We need to see the shit. I don't want to see the shit.
Yeah.
Which, at this point, I've forgotten what that refers to, but I have who said those two lines.
I don't even know.
Is it Ivy?
No.
No. It was me. It might have been me.
It had to be
Yes.
when you were discussing whether or not to try and get info from A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Quilly said we need to see the shit. And Derek's like, I don't want to see the shit. So like, yeah, that seems like this party in a good nutshell.
Yeah. You guys specified.
That's pretty accurate.
You had your 3 questions then from A, who was giving you more info about Milo's predicament,
Yep.
which is a driving story and driving force at this point.
Yep.
You finally get a name of who has Milo's blood.
Yep.
I have it written. I wrote down the name.
Uh-huh.
Be proud of me. I wrote down names.
Yeah.
But I'm bad at pronouncing my own notes.
That's fair. It's
Zilphine Safiel?
You nailed it. Zilphine Safiel.
Hey!
Yeah. Professional. You're hired. You're now in the
Nice.
party because you take notes. You are
Take
the one.
notes. I'm not a good note taker.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm too committed to the bit to take notes.
Exactly.
Of course.
He knows.
Yes,
He
naturally.
knows.
Me too. I'm gonna stop taking notes.
No!
Let's
But
just all stop taking notes, see how far we get.
Oh,
yeah, you guys will do
Lord.
great. You'll do great. Very excited for that reality.
No.
Everyone you meet, who are you?
Yeah.
When did we meet?
Why are we here?
Are you the one that I need to talk to about pigs?
Oh, fuck.
In the distance.
Barwop.
Did you say pigs? Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh.
A cloud of like dust kicking up.
He's just riding a fucking armored boar.
He turns like really imperious in tone. He's like, I heard that you talked about pigs without me. How dare you? All of the 9 hounds will be on your back now. You will die
All
a
the 9
painful
boars.
death. All the 9 boars.
There it is.
Jimmy, Tommy, Andy. Those are the first 3. And they will devour you. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, yeah,
No, that's actually such a power play to not actually mask, but make up for or cover up for the fact that you definitely don't have 9 names ready. It's just list 3 and say these 3 are coming for you. You'll learn the rest when they get here. Look at that, Dani. You're learning how to be a DM this week. It's just masterclass.
I've DM'd before.
I know, but it's your refresher. It's
It is my refresher.
Yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness.
Barwop aside, I forget which questions you all asked exactly, but I remember loose
I have
information.
two of the three answers. No, I remember the third answer now. So we got the name. Party asked, what does Zilphine have planned for Milo? To which A was like, the future is uncertain. Thanks, Magic 8 Ball.
Yes.
And then the last answer I have, which I forgot the quote or question, was the crown might have more info.
Yes, the question was, would the crown know her? The crown being a person.
Yeah.
As we learn later.
So from that was the three questions you were given.
Yep.
Allowed to ask from A. Boy, English is a rough language.
You got this.
So everyone got to step back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity. Sorry,
there
I had to do it.
I know.
That's
I know.
Oh my god.
I had to. I'm sorry.
No, it
put
works.
the ball on the tee and walked away.
Fuck, man. I gotta fire both of you now.
That's
Shit.
hired and fired in the same hour.
You guys are hired?
Don't get paid.
Yeah, right? You just get shipped on back.
Ivy had a dream-ish wish fulfilled by A to go and walk in the mortal plane for a bit.
Yep.
Welcome to Earth, Ivy. Smells like piss.
Yep.
And barf. Because everyone went back to the crowbar
Yep.
Yes.
during prime drinking hours. Finally,
Yeah.
for once.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there.
So we do, I guess, a round of shots and a dragon's breath, welcoming Ivy, and
That's pretty much the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the end of Ep 9.
I love Ivy. I will say, just because Ivy is not currently with the party does not mean Ivy is not currently doing things in the city of
She's
Vasselheim.
having her
And
adventure.
we may, before too long, be able to see what some of those things are. That's where I'll leave it for now. But Ivy is still very much in Vasselheim, doing whatever the fuck Ivy is doing in Vasselheim. In a time of potential great political turmoil. I'm sure this can go well.
Great. Welcome to Mortal Plane. Yeah, it's pretty much like this all the time.
Yep.
We're gonna come back to the new marquee.
Yes.
I mean, y'all are not in the city, so but anyway, yeah, that's the end of episode 9. Chaos.
Chaos. I
Yeah.
guess, quick question for Izzy and Dani. Like, as, because I've seen this kind of from both ends, viewer, player, less so. No, I have as DM too. Do you prefer like puzzle rooms and episodes, combat episodes, or like backstory dialogue? I mean, each have their pros and cons, but since this one just came off of a puzzle-heavy episode, I'm curious.
I associate combat with backstory / like role playing all the time.
There's definitely good ways to get like good role playing moments out of combat as well. And I just like combat for strategy reasons too.
Yeah.
I like puzzles. Puzzles probably number 3 on that list though, only because I have the intelligence of a 4-year-old.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, but they're fun.
They are
make me feel
fun.
stupid, but they're fun.
But yeah, I'd say in my experience, definitely RP backstory points go numero uno, because that's always fun. And not to mention, our group is super RP heavy anyways. We get to like a combat encounter like once in a blue moon. Not recently actually.
Yeah,
which
we'll
you know,
get there.
it's hitting its own you know, little niche, but or like you know,
The time is
little
right.
enjoyment. Yeah, the time is right. But I definitely think since we all have developed these characters behind the scenes so much, it's nice to actually like see out that work in game. So that's why.
Cool. I mean, I just literally thought of that right now. So I was curious. I don't even know if I have my own answer to this.
I mean, it's a good question.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's entirely dependent on how people play Dungeons and Dragons because you can play it in a
Exactly.
bunch of ways. You could play it as like a dungeon delving thing where, let's be honest, your backstory isn't gonna make a whole big difference in a super dungeon or like an old school like D&D like the West Marches type campaigns. It's not gonna make that big of a difference. It's there to add a flavor, sure, but it's not like the main driving force. But in like big narrative campaigns like this, yeah, it makes sense.
But when you get a dragon in a dungeon, it's like that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is the campaign I was talking about earlier. Is Dungeon Crawler. So we've come across a few puzzles, a lot of combat, and a little bit of backstory here and there, filled stuff. So I was just curious because I'm like, oh, yeah, and it really entirely depends on your group and what you're doing and comfort level and roleplay. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, just curious. That's what the podcast is about: recap and question.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah.
think it's clear. I hate roleplay so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
Just
So much.
It's bottom
All
of the
your
ladder for
NPCs
me.
have
I
the
mean-
same voice.
That's why. That's why when we have an episode, we're doing 90% of the role playing.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, it's you guys
Like,
carry.
here, take it.
No,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So you just have to do one voice.
Rough.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, that's a good question, and that's a chat that we had like before the campaign. And I also made it very clear in like scouting for players, like, hey, if you're looking for dungeon crawl, don't come to me because I won't give you one. At least not like a campaign of it, because that's just it's the most stale part of D&D 5e for me. The weakest part of the system is its combat when compared to anything else that does combat well. So,
Well, yeah.
Personally, my answer to it was like, there are ways to make combat more interesting. You can add rules and stuff and all that. My approach, as we'll maybe touch back on next podcast, because we just did episode 12 last night, and we ended on a tense moment. Surprise. A different kind of tense moment. But I prefer to give weight to combat by circumstance, more so than just, here is big thing with big number, it smash you, or here's 500 waves of skeletons so you have no spells when the boss shows up and kills you all, which can be fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've literally built, Ben, as you know, an entire RNG dungeon crawler game. I think there's great merit to it. However, if I'm running a campaign, I want a story, so that's what I focus on. And I'd like to think I've managed to make encounters feel pretty important thus far. No one's told me otherwise, so I think I'm doing okay, but yeah, anyway, that's my 2.3 cents or whatever it would be.
That's fine. And good points. I'm going to move on to episode 10, unless there's anything else anyone wants to say. Nope. Moving along. Who said it? This is going to be a real easy one, I think.
Uh-oh.
For a who said it round. I'm only human. I'm gross and filled with mouth sounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, the timing, it's right at the start, so it's clearly me giving the intro, but also I know I said that. So, yeah, that was me. You're going to get a few real bad quotes out of me on the next podcast. Real bad ones.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep an ear out for that. Why'd I write welcome back? That's a great note. That totally means things to me right now.
Well, welcome back. I do say it.
That's true. That's true.
That is a thing that happens.
Off to the, and in parentheses I wrote, other bar with the crown. And then later added, Platinum Sky. There it is.
Or as Milo called it, the Golden Earth? Is that what he called it? It's such a great little quip. I don't know if anyone really caught it when it happened, but it was so good. I loved
Golden Earth. That's so good. Bye, Ivy. Hi, bye, Penelope. We say bye to Ivy and leave her, I guess, at the crowbar, right?
She left. She just kind of vanished in the night.
Wandered off.
Yeah, to chaos.
And we say, we have a quick Kalis Penelope interaction? No.
It's barely an
It's an exclusion. Let's, Dani, thoughts on that?
So here's the thing: the relationship with Penny, as like an out of character, like from an out of character point of view, it was very impromptu. It was like, and you know what? It makes absolutely sense in character. It was probably it definitely is a fling, and he is there because he enjoys her company. However, he also has a lot of emotional baggage when it comes to love interest, as has been discovered in previous episodes. So when it comes to, leaving behind that emotional baggage, that's very difficult for a paladin of Bahamut to do, who's never really explored that part of himself. He hasn't been to a counselor. He doesn't really he doesn't really go to therapy. The most he's gone to therapy is when he went to oh no, how could I have forgotten her name? Lila, yeah. when he went to Lila and then had a little heart to heart and her kind of explaining some type of stuff. That was the deepest he's gone in terms of a heart to heart, probably in his life. As I'll mention again, he's taken from his home from like a very, very young age, and basically grew up to be a soldier. He's the epitome of kind of like a child soldier grown up. So how do you exactly deal with emotions from being
stunted?
Yeah, like you're basically taught, it's like, hey, here's the thing, you have a job, do your job, and then we really don't care about you other than your job, which is a really harsh way of looking at it, but it makes sense in the context of the order. It's like, hey, we need to protect these people. Other than that, you can do what you want, which comes perfectly into his entire weird kind of like red district past. Because again, this is another thing that was like, this makes absolute sense for the character. Did I make it up on the spot? Maybe. Does it work? Absolutely. And thus, Penny and the rest of her entourage was born, and led me to walk out in the bright hours of the morning of her place and proceed to bring myself into some type of Sex and the City type drama. So, and then now we come to the crown.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It is so fun to watch. The cold shoulder.
Oh.
And if I do say so myself, Fraya plays it off perfectly.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Correct and totally character appropriate moves all around. As a viewer, it's frustrating because I'm like, oh, I wanted more, which is probably good. Leave the audience wanting more.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Penny still lives in the city that we're presumably going to be returning to, so, like, that's up to Kalis, probably. But also, information we learn in 20 minutes in-game might, make things interesting.
Yep.
One little piece of info there.
Yes.
So, yeah, the Chosen One.
Oh yes.
So you see the Chosen One. I didn't want to forget about this. Chosen One's talking to the crown, and he looks like he's doing good. No one decides to talk to him. Really disappointed in you all, by the way. Really, really disappointed. So maybe y'all missed out on some stuff there. We won't know, but anyway, we do see him. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows. If you don't know the story of the Chosen One by now, it's the power of the dice when they turn a normal human into a god. That's how I'll word that. So,
Yep.
anyway,
Okay, we get Kalus's meeting with the crown. Everyone else is just kind of sitting there in the platinum sky, except for Volkar, who's outside. Oh boy. Which,
yeah, we'll get there.
Oh.
We'll get there. Yikes.
Kalus's meeting goes well, except
Fine, well.
Kalus gets information that is vital to help with Milo's mission. Kalus now owes the crown a favor.
Correct.
So at this point, I'm wondering how many. Each arc of this story is just going to be undoing like one character's favor over and over, right? Is that what we're heading to?
Sometimes
That's-
it really feels like it.
That's sort of
Just
maybe where we're
Constantly
going.
Indebted.
Yeah. Maybe don't give people your blood or favor. But from the crown meeting, we get name Zilphine Fears.
Yep.
A relation from Zilphine, which ends up. Wait, hold on. Penelope's dad.
Yes. So, actually,
works-ish.
Dani, do you want to sum up the info you got? If it's fresh enough for you. I know it's been a month for us again, but if you want to hit on that.
So essentially, Zilphine is one of the major architects within the city. Is responsible for a lot of buildings, primarily in the Reach. A lot of high class stuff, very bougie. Bourgeoisie to the nth degree. And one of the, you could kind of say, like, real estate development gurus in a way, kind of also architect, is Penny's dad. So another strange, small world type of moment, and they are kind of in the same realm. They know each other, so that offers some kind of segue from Penny to Zilphine. But also, Zilphine was noted to have a lot of how do I put it? Connections to other parts of the world, such as a little piece of lore that we learned about in the East with the Empire of Deimos. Basically worked as an architect helping develop the I don't even know how to put it, like the Empire in general, just as being a powerful powerful wizard sorceress. And then proceeds to again drop a name, the crown drops a name in which she fears that's related to Deimos. And then another side thing is that she is somehow related to Volkar by the way of leading Kord's armies in battle at some point, which is
Yeah,
also
she was
wild.
At
And-
Thunderhead, when all
Yeah.
the shit went down.
There's one other big thing that you've forgotten, which is the Cobalt Soul.
Oh, that is right. Also, has ties to the Cobalt Soul.
Yep,
So-
and was evidently in the great city of Cerul Unith when it fell during the war, which is sort of a big deal.
Yeah.
So, a lot of stuff there.
That stuff.
Kalus didn't want to get her past names.
No.
But other than that, he took almost every available piece of information.
Hey, to be honest, being indebted to a guy like the Crown is just
Very comfortable.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable. I know my
Anyone in this campaign.
No, I think Kalis knows his limits enough where he's like, hey, I've done jobs for him as like side deals. You know, I don't really want to go past this point of no return. And in this, I was very, very, very inspired by John Wick here. I'm not gonna lie. It was very John Wick-esque. It was like, I was out of it, and then you pulled me back in. You know?
They killed your dog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except they didn't kill my dog. The dog equivalent here is Milo.
His dog gave his blood to a wizard.
Yeah, dog gave blood to a wizard, and then I need to get my dog out of shit. So that was the game plan there. But yeah.
Yeah. I personally, just real quick before Ben, I'll let you keep talking. My favorite moment of this entire thing is, favorite thing is watching everyone else's faces during this whole conversation, just being like, "Oh my God, what are all of these words? I actually didn't hear any of this. Oh shit!" And then the moment that I mentioned Penny's father, watching everyone's faces just go, "Oh fuck!" So brilliant, so beautiful. Just loved it.
But yeah. That's
Can we
great.
discuss Kalis's favor too that he owes at this point?
A
Right?
little bit, like
Little
very
bit.
briefly.
Yeah, briefly.
But you have 2 months to do it, which is nice-ish.
It's yeah. It wasn't a very like concrete timeline, if I remember correctly.
You asked for more time,
Yeah, I was about to say
which
it's
was
like,
smart.
Whenever we finish what we're doing.
yeah, we kind of have busier. Like we have more
Yeah.
Kind of build up.
Which is definitely Kalis's head because Kalis is actively being the calendar for the group at this point. He's like, we have so much shit to deal with, and so many deadlines. Like he's definitely, let's say in university, right? And you have all of these group members, and you're trying to do this final project. You are trying to coordinate all these people to get the project done by deadline day. And you keep going, and you're just slowly edging closer, but no progress is getting done.
And you're getting more projects to do.
And you're getting more projects to do, so you're kind of shitting your pants, and that's kind of the seat that Kalis is in. Is like, we have we're kind of dealing with this weird, mystery. What was her name?
The siren.
I see the siren, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have that going on. Meanwhile, we also have Milo to take care of.
Mhm.
Not to mention, we have some political turmoil that's happening in Vasselheim. All of these things that may turn out to be intertwined in some way. We have no idea. But it is a lot of things to deal with. And that's why at this point in time, Kelly's is like, hey, I'll do what you want. Just because I'm trying to get this stupid halfling out of trouble. But give me some time.
Oof. So you said stupid halfling, and I remembered all of the just. Kalis is going to kill Milo at some point. I am convinced of this.
No, here's the thing. Kalis really has. I do truly believe that Kalis has a soft spot for Milo.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise he wouldn't be pushing. He wouldn't go so out of his way to really save this halfling, who, to be honest, has made some really questionable moral decisions. So he could really have just been, hey, I can just leave you here and my morality will not be affected in any way whatsoever. He could do that. But he's kind of like, well, I've dealt with you this long. I kind of need to do this. I need to prove it to myself that I can actually take care of. And this is a good part of Kalis' Yeah, this is a good part of Kelsey's like character development. It's like I really need to prove to myself that I can manage to save one person at least. Because at this point in the campaign,
Pride.
yeah, it's kind of a matter of pride, and also he made a promise before to Juniper, right? That it's like, well, I'm gonna try to save everyone that I can, which is a very, very lofty goal, and it's the most, paladin of all paladin oaths that you can possibly take. But in this case, he's gonna try. So regardless of if he deserves it or not, Milo, it's kind of grown on him that he's like, okay, well, we're gonna travel the ends of the continent, I guess, to figure out ways in order to save his ass, and I'll do it again, right? So it's more so he does it out of almost like a love for Milo. But it's not that he shows it, because it's a tough love.
I just figured out exactly what it is, okay? Milo is the dog that was found on the street and was brought in, and Kalis is the dad who really didn't want it.
It's very true.
And then a month later, it's just like, fuck. Yeah. So, wow, I love that, actually. But
it's weird. It's weird if we look at it like this. Theron is very much the mother of the group. Is like, okay, we all have to, think rationally about this. Make a concerted effort into what we're doing, and fix a plan. And Kalis turns out to be the dad who's like, here's the thing, kiddos.
Don't tell your mother.
Don't tell your mother. We're gonna do it this way this one time, okay?
Yep.
It's like, we probably shouldn't feed the dog chocolate.
Okay, wait. So now that we're on this, Theron's the mom, Kalis is the dad. Quilly is obviously the cool cousin.
Oh, obviously.
100%.
I thought Quilly was gonna be the oldest child.
Maybe.
The reason I go cool cousin is less responsibility than this child,
yeah.
but just as cool, if not cooler, because you don't see them all the time. Volcar would be the drunkle.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool, we got that.
Yes. Wholeheartedly.
Milo's the dog, of course.
Milo's the dog.
Is Derek the
Derek's
only child?
Derek's an only child, gifted kid.
I love this family that's been created.
And then for the hell of it, let's say, let's say that in this case, Ivy. What's Ivy? In this very, very new group.
I mean the youngest child.
Youngest child.
Youngest child works.
Look, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many other people we could keep adding to this, but
Lila.
Lila,
We'll build
she's
the whole family tree.
I don't even know. But anyway,
don't talk to
that's
him.
before we had every NPC.
Yeah.
Lila is like that family friend, like that childhood family friend that's always like, they kind of come out at like recess, friends with the kids.
Like
come out at recess, opens up the codes, is like, hey kids, what do you want?
You want some death? I got some death.
Yeah. It's like it's actually the hustler on the school playground for some reason, and I don't know why that comes to mind, but it seems so apt.
She sells those candy cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but she also plays lacrosse and beats the shit out of people all the time. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, back to we finish up our meeting with the crown.
What was the show about again?
I don't even know who the fuck knows.
That's basically it. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
How do we know when it's over? So we get back
Volcar.
to the Platinum Skies. Quilly orders the most expensive drink on the menu,
I forgot.
which, oh boy.
That
I
goes
thought
well.
you were. Yeah, it goes great.
It goes
It goes
fantastic.
so well that one of my notes is she had a drink that was horrendous. It was heaven. We'll talk later. But we get one more who said it as we walk out, and a scene happens, and this character says, "First women, now children." Jesus.
Oh,
Is that
Is
a
that
Derek
careless?
thing? I don't know. It's like,
Maybe,
well, I have
don't
no
remember.
idea.
Mikey. Milo said
That was? Oh shit.
Milo?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Volkar's
This entire
menace.
time during the meeting, Volkar has been, yeah, I guess rubber duck theorying, but like to a therapist level, just talking to anything, anyone, a pigeon.
Yep.
A pigeon that then turns out to be a child?
Yeah. A halfling.
Yeah. A halfling.
With one of my favorite sparks of improv that I had to include of the campaign so far.
That was pretty good.
But I wasn't anticipating Volkar's reaction to this child, which was to strangle it.
What do you think would happen? Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
This is like
There's a few directions it could have gone. I was expecting he would be like, "What the fuck?" and then the kid would leave because he's fast. I wasn't expecting instantaneous violence against a child. Because okay, we haven't seen Volkar assault another child before this. Okay, so I didn't know where his
Ridiculous
threshold for assaulting children was gonna be.
apparently
I
it's
guess
quite low.
Both Red Bull boys have in some form assaulted children now.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Okay, one was self-inflicted.
I said in some form, okay? I had to make it look bad.
Man. Okay.
Yeah, that scene happens. That's great.
My next note, again, don't know why I said this, but great morning so far.
I
You guys have had a great morning.
Yeah.
Kalis is going to kill
Kalis had a
Milo at
great
some
time.
point.
Yep.
We reconvene at the no, not the pro bar, at the crowbar to formulate a plan.
Yep. And the
To
plan starts
for the
with
meeting
talking
tonight.
to Lulu, right?
Yes, visit
Yeah.
to Lulu. Which I have no notes on. Good job, me. I have
It
one
wasn't
note from
important.
Lulu. Okay. Wasn't important at all.
No, not at all. What's your
Okay. No, I don't have a note. My one note from Lulu. Sorry, my one note is Lulu consoling Milo, basically telling him they all make mistakes as well. They just might not admit it.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, aw. After an entire morning and 3 episodes of everyone being like, "God damn it, Milo," that was nice.
She's the grandma.
She is.
So pretty much y'all went to go talk to her about Zilphine and the Cobalt Soul, and she pretty much just had mostly very positive things to say, and was like, I don't really know her myself personally, but like, you know, the building we're all standing in she designed, and a bunch of other stuff. And then everyone started making conspiracy theories, I think, was the response to that mostly. That's the bulk of the conversation, essentially.
Yeah. At that point, it's just to the toy shop, which I meant to make a note of and then didn't go back and do it. Anyway, to the toy shop.
To the toy shop.
We've been here before.
We've been here before. Some of us have been here before.
Some of us have been here before. Some of us tried to open a door. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and we learned the barbarian's the best at breaking and entering.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I should multi-class. I should just take everybody's job.
Apparently. Clearly coming for the kill now.
Yes. So there, oh boy, Milo, Quilly, and Derek go in. Everyone else stays out. Oh boy, which was a great move. Once everyone who goes inside, they get to, well, yeah, they meet Harmony. Again, meet/re-meet Harmony.
Yes.
Who teleports them. And the Red Bull boys are outside, along with T-Bows and Theron. We were just dragging along.
God. Someone draw it. Holy fuck. He's just lagging around the city. Anyway. God damn.
So great. With the party. Good job.
Yeah.
This
It will be done again.
always a
yeah,
good
cross
idea.
continent this time.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Y'all go deal with that.
You could have split. I would have been very upset with you all, but you could have.
Oh, that would have been hell.
My life would have been a logistic nightmare. I would do it though. I'd commit to it. It's the bit. I'll do it. But yeah, so I guess I'm curious to hear, Ben, from you on what you're thinking as this very lighthearted conversation ensues, and then after that, I would like to hear from Izzy, who is there, and
I'm just gonna ask Izzy a lot of questions.
We'll get there. So yeah, I guess just do your thing, but I'm very excited to see the discussion on this part.
So, hold on, scrolling up, remembering names. Not Penelope. Zilphine, very intense, very straightforward, very intimidating if you're rolling on a D&D chart. Basically, gives the option of do this or die again. To which this is go to the second largest city, Scarleton.
On the
Yeah,
money.
Scarleton. Yes.
Zilphine has a gem that Malvius wants. Malvius owns a museum in Scarleton, and basically
Right there.
Okay.
Just it's it's never specified what the artifact is.
Correct.
And B, it's not Malvius. It is a dragonborn who's named Omfeed Morsashi, which is the first time we've ever heard this name. Yep.
Omfeed. Malvius was the name that we got from the crown then.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha.
Just to but
Yeah, no. Great. Basically the quest then is to go distract Omfeed enough that he will not pursue the artifact Zilphine has. I wrote gem. I don't know why. Great. So that's the gist of it. It's, very do this or die in a very one-sided conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. And then from what I remember, what my notes say, it's just like, great. Harmony comes around, takes a vial of your blood, and off you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Two other little details in there.
Right. I have Lady Zentha written down, and I don't know what that means.
Yes. The time frame. They have 30 days to do this, and it's a place that on foot would take about 20 days to get there if they're lucky.
Yes.
And I completely forgot the other point I was going to bring up.
She sends them with a note to get airship transport that's written in Elvish, but also in some sort of code.
Yeah.
Yes. Some
and also money.
So yeah, essentially she gives them the time frame and is like, yeah, you guys look poor and shitty, so I assume you can't get there quickly. And they're like, yeah, got us. And so she's like, all right, take this airship or have fun. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Izzy, were there any questions you thought of answering or asking?
Asking her?
Yeah.
I don't really know if there was a way to bargain out of the blood taking. I wish I found a way. I don't know why I said Quilly in there because she's charisma of 8. She can't bargain shit.
Oh. You can roll nat 20.
Yeah.
Skill check. Don't mean shit.
But yeah, it's like, oh, this person's pretty intense and we're not going to get much of a choice. I would fight her if I could, but I'd immediately die. But I wanted to leave that with, getting at least some sort of using some of the information that we spent all day retrieving And so I name dropped Malvius, and she did not like that.
Uh-huh.
No, she didn't like that at all. So yeah, that was about it.
There's just there's like, as we already pointed out, we don't know what the artifact that Sylphine has. I barely even had the name of the person. It's just like, go here, be a distraction. Get 30 days. Bye.
Yeah,
Which leaves a lot of creative interpretation, to which I just have, all right, great, speedrun arson, or speedrun museum arson, go.
I can fuck up a museum.
Oh, as we've seen in the break room, everyone can. Yeah.
Just enlarge Kalis and Quilly, and let's go punch shit.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I shouldn't have said that. It's gonna happen now.
But it's just like, there's so many more questions, and though Zilphine is intimidating, Curious Ben would have shoehorned their character to ask more questions. At the very least, everyone has seen how much Milo gets shit on for not knowing anything. But like, there's so much. Even now, I'm just like, I don't even know where to start to ask. In the moment, there was 3 like big things. I'm like, oh wait, but ask this now. Oh, okay, never mind. Also, no, it's like, oh, okay, you're taking my blood. Cool. Like,
Right.
no, that's the whole reason you went to do this.
Yeah.
Was to try to get the
Yeah.
blood back.
I gotta say, the point no one brought up is, so Milo has this happen, and clearly, like, yes, this is very stupid for Milo because he initiated this entire stupid job he tried to go on. So, yeah, it's stupid. However, Quilly and Derek go into the same place with him, and they get no more information. They get their blood taken, and they piss her off. They accomplish literally nothing more than Milo has done.
You know.
And no one brings it up at all. They're just like, wow, fuck.
Oh, well, damn.
With Izzy's charisma of 8, that kind of makes sense.
And also Quilly's
that's kind of in
charisma of 8.
character.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she's not an easy. Not you, Zilphine. Switching people. Zilphine, not Quilly. Not an easy person to talk to, as we've learned. So maybe it's better no one asks questions, because what's her patience level?
The other thing that I did think, I'm like, well, minimal damage done to make the situation worse, but could it have gone better?
Probably.
Eh.
Probably. I think the sole reason she was there was for Milo not to cause anything else.
Of course. Dog sitting.
Yeah.
The leash imagery keeps just inviting itself, and Volkar's kinks are back, so...
Anyway, so then you have the night to plan anything, pack up your stuff and go for a month. Which, of the only note then, was Volkar, again, just wandering off by himself. Why does everything... Okay. And he gets struck by lightning and gets an image. Right?
Sorry, I love that with no intro, but yes, that is what happens, yeah.
Yes, and gets an image from Cord that leads him to believe that Zelphine was at Fort Thunderhead during the fall of the Spider Queen. And, as wonderfully pointed out, that Cord is still listening to Volkar.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Then Volkar smashes into the crowbar like a fucking slasher villain. She was there! I love that moment.
There. So good. That is also my note. Just she was there in all caps.
It's so good.
And then I was specifically told not to play Who Said This with this quote, so I won't. But there was a point where the players were given a chance to do anything else for the night, and Fraya took it that the silence was agreed. The silence was a sign that we should move on to the next day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happened. Yeah, I'm glad you definitely didn't turn that into the game.
No,
Yeah.
didn't.
This is
What's
great.
annoying is I have a quote right after that, but no,
context.
no, who said the quote? So I can't. I have to play my own game, but I don't have an answer.
Oh hell yeah! Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Milo's probably fine. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh,
I remember
that
now.
could be
That
fucking
sounds
anyone.
like Derek. That sounds like Derek.
Yeah.
That does sound like a Derek.
Could have been me,
It's not.
for all I
It's
know.
not.
Like
That was probably fine.
any single person could have said this.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Mikey again saying that while everyone had a fitful
Oh.
rest and a stressful rest, Milo's probably fine. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone wakes up, goes to the airship that they have a hall pass and token to get on, and it is the Deer Sentinel, which is fun. Hooray.
Yeah.
So many callbacks.
So many callbacks.
Fun fact.
Oh boy.
Deer Sentinel, along with many other parts of the world, clearly things are happening in the background. Deer Sentinel has been doing things. That's all I will say. And you weren't really supposed to end up on it. This was not my plan for a lot of it, until I realized that it had to happen as the only feasible option for you guys, without just giving you someone who can just teleport you from the city for free, because that's a power you gotta earn. So it was probably eventually going to be a thing that was relevant, or at least semi-relevant. But as soon as I started looking at some things, I was like, oh fuck, this is actually the only answer that really works. And just as people have stopped obsessing over it, here it is. So
Right.
there's that.
Remember, Ben, when you asked me the first time I was here how high the airship paranoia is? It's pretty fucking high.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You made that very apparent. Which is good.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully it doesn't go bad.
We'll find out.
Well, there's a bit of a cliffhanger for that one.
Uh-huh.
We get to see a bunch of the crew, including a return of Melody. Right? Yeah.
Yep. Melody's back
Playing
Tinny.
Tinny. Festinia.
Festinia,
Which
yes.
which in my notes does autocorrect to Timmy, so oops.
Great, that's amazing.
Again, after our wonderful adventurers forget to introduce themselves to another new character.
You know what? And here's the thing. I think our group has slowly, because we talked about this our last session.
We're getting
Not only are we getting there, I feel like we've slowly. I'm gonna put this out there to the group chat again. Is like, should we do it? But there may be a group name in the process because of this stupid habit that we have.
Excellent.
It's pretty good, to be honest.
Excellent. Melody had a great response of, I feel like I know you already. So I'm like, perfect. It did come up right next in my note of like, oh, we should really get a group name. I'm like, oh, you guys want a group name? I already gave you Red Bull Boys.
Red Bull Boys is only the partnership.
Yeah.
I know.
It's only the wing.
I know.
The wing boys.
The Wing Boys.
But, well, Ben, if you happen to come up with a group name for him, just put it in chat.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll be like 3 a.m. on a Sunday evening.
That's
Evening.
that's
3 a.m. on a
sentence.
Sunday morning. Just see it in all caps. God.
What?
Just one of my notes. So, for lack of a better term, the first meet, Fraya, that you play, I did miss their name. Was it? That wasn't Zinni. Was it Zinni? Xenia. Zinni.
Zentha.
Zentha.
Yep. She owns
Okay,
the ship,
great.
actually. Yeah.
The owner. Okay.
Yep.
Zentha. Volcar to Zentha, who is just a lovely ball of energy and was told to be mean to you guys and will not be, which is great. Volkar says, I think we're going to become fast friends. I think maybe. Maybe. It's great. And then I have fun issues of who I'd call the captain of the ship. Because despite his name coming up a lot, I heard it 3 different ways and was convinced it was 3 different ways. Either from my speakers or from a weird audio upload compression stuff. But at first I thought it was Chorus. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, oh, it's Boris.
Nope.
That's cool. And finally, I'm like, is it Goris? And then, like, 5, right towards the end of the episode, I'm like, oh, it's Goris. So if I call him something differently,
as long as it
that's
rhymes.
just because.
Yeah,
it's one of them.
Yeah,
It's not like he's said a word yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I believe that.
I just want to highlight Tinny's lovely introduction of like, hey, if anyone gets burnt, dismembered, stabbed, if you trip, if you pass out, it's not on us. Also drink this.
Yes.
It's just such a delightful moment. I loved it so much.
It is. So good. Volkar's like, great. What was this? It was so nice. I love this.
Yeah.
And he is a great character. I just, I'm. I have a halfling that also derives their healing powers through tea in one of my games, so I'm like, tea power. So part of me is just like already like Tinny's the best. So we get a note that we're not going straight to Scarlet City.
Scarlet City is the new is like the Las Vegas of Asilra, man. Scarlet City. Oh hell yeah!
That's cool.
You have to watch Kalis in Scarlet City instead of Milo.
Oh my goodness! I never thought of that.
We'll do a one shot. We'll do a one shot.
Sex in the City? No, Kalis in the City, man.
Oh my god.
No. It's a wild. It's gonna be a wild night.
We get we get backstory about the Arms of Elysium.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a thing to know about.
Which are supposedly dead. Not sentinels. Sentinels? What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know. It's suitable. They're like rumored to be of angelic descent.
Yes. And basically the mission there is to Zinni wants to help
Tinny
people.
or Zentha, technically both, but you combine them into one person.
Xantha.
I know, sorry, there's so many names in this episode. There's so many new names that come up. Zentha
is going to make a stop there to do diplomatic stuff while she wants the group to steal any sort of healing item that would help her then help people. Help me steal to help others.
Yeah, like the weirdest disconnected Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had a moral thought of like, this is grave robbing, isn't it? This is kind of just grave robbing. Kind of, maybe, if they're still dead. But is it a morally good thing to do?
If they're alive again, is it not grave robbing anymore? Like you missed the window?
Well, if they rose from the dead, is it now still considered a grave?
Is it their possessions again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they come back with their... See, I went down this...
Yeah, does it just become regular theft?
That's what... Like, I went down this rabbit hole for a while. Like, is it stealing? Is it the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few? Is this a morally good thing? Because, like, it's not being used, probably, and it can help others. Like, I have very few notes from here on out, because my brain was just wrapped up in that.
I love to hear that, because that's the exact sort of moral quandaries I love to inflict on everyone constantly. So, I love to hear that.
And then I think I snapped out of it because Derek was writing on a scroll, and I'm like, wait, where's the sending stone? Where are those messages?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a little quiet last couple days. I know, it feels like it's been like 47 sessions, but it's only been like a day and a half in game.
Oh, okay.
This really hasn't been like episode like 5 to 10 essentially is like 3 days in town.
Yeah.
Which is fucking insane to think about.
The last little bit on the ship before everyone goes to sleep, we get Zentha and Quilly. Well, Zentha tells everyone about their plan and then asks Quilly to stay and chat longer. Zentha goes to the rail. Quilly says no and sits.
Nope.
Not sits, but like stays in the middle of the ship.
That lesson from the bridge.
Yes. And we get a little bit of exposition and backstory again as the end of the conversation goes. And there's like, oh, well, I thought we'd just have some light chatter, but heavy talk works too. Yeah.
Sorry to trauma dump on you.
There's also in between those two things, in between the hey, here's what I'm doing and talking to Quilly, she also tells everyone about her home city of Xiphus and how horrifying it is to live there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't take note of that because I went down the moral conundrum hole of stealing from maybe dead people.
Yeah, so it's seems like a pretty shit place from everything that she and Tinny had to say about it. But yeah, that happened. And then we get the end of the episode. Nice casual stuff here.
Nice casual 1920s card playing.
That happens too.
That's all. That's.
I forgot all about that.
Aces, spades. How are we gonna play this, boys?
Cigar in the mouth.
Which, while
How are we gonna do this?
While Quilly's trauma dump was great exposition and great at that moment, the comic relief after it was perfectly timed.
So good.
Then everyone goes to sleep, and it's a smooth sailing night.
Yep.
No.
And that's it. That's it. Yep, that's the episode.
Nothing happened.
You find yourself asleep, Fraya says, and more than one person is like, oh god. Oh, Lord. Oh no.
Anytime I mention sleep, everyone gets so fucking scared.
Yeah.
This time they were right.
Yeah. The ship is caught in a storm.
Yeah.
Which oh boy, there's a lot. I don't know. Lightning, Volcar screaming, Volcar jumping, trying to fly and activate the Red Bull powers, but not.
Well, mostly just getting thrown off the ship. Yeah.
Mostly just getting thrown off the ship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Ness from Smash Bros. I mean, not from Smash Bros, but that's what he just
Earthbound.
He just hits him with the
PK Lightning.
The PK Lightning.
Yeah.
And Volcar lands half dead, exploding into Tinny's workshop.
Yes.
And Ben, what's going through your head of the whiplash of the last 20 minutes of this episode? Because as you said, it's like, wow, this is trauma dump, but then it's like, thanks, Kalis, this is hilarious. So as this episode ends, what the fuck? What's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is like, oh man, I got 10 minutes to spare until the podcast. I sit down and realize I have 40 minutes to spare for the podcast. But no, it's like I am frustrated that I have to end on this and do a podcast with this. So I'm like, number one, I hope the workshop does not blow up. So you're gonna roll for that. Number two, Izzy is stuck on a roller coaster and they're afraid of roller coasters.
Yeah.
Quilly, not Izzy. Why do I keep doing this? I think
it's fine. Everyone's become interchangeable with their characters for me, so I I just pick a name. It doesn't matter. You can call me any NPC name. I'll fucking respond. I don't care.
All right, Barwop.
I might not always do the voices, but I will respond.
Jeez, it's a lot to digest, which is also why I like coming here, because like there are definitely gaps of my knowledge, which is probably just how I'm listening to it, which is fine.
It happens. It's a lot of content. You know, people are gonna miss stuff. I fucking miss stuff.
I remember the scroll you had to put in front of someone's like, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention," and then snapped him out of the room as A.
Yeah, so that was just a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I was paying attention. I just wanted to let it play out.
Dang.
So
Dang
you didn't catch me there. I've gotten pretty good at disguising when I'm absolutely bullshitting. It's the campaign. It's the whole campaign.
The whole campaign. The whole campaign.
I may or may not have to take a call.
Okay.
Okay.
So it'll be like 10-15 minutes maybe.
Okay. We might still be recording when you're done.
Okay.
Because we are kind of at the end there. So we'll see.
Yeah. If not, have a good night.
Yeah. Okay. One.
Okay. But yeah, the next 2 episodes are nice and chill.
Why do I not believe you?
Just nothing but happy times.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Nothing
stuff.
nothing but happy times from the person who's trapped in their almost literal hell on earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell on sky.
Hell on sky. Hell on the mortal plane.
So you definitely don't have 2 more unintentional cliffhangers to look forward to. I wasn't trying, but the pacing, I can't control this group. I don't know how much they're gonna talk. So I really was trying not to.
Really fun. They're really fun to play.
They're chaos. We have
Excellent.
We have a full party for both.
Yes. Seemed like that.
Finally, we actually have people back. Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much I want to say because we just did episode 12, so it's like it's just on my mind right now.
It's so fresh.
It's fresh.
And my goodness, I will say like clearly we're entering a new arc of the story. And there's a bit of a change of pace happening. Things have picked up a little bit, to say the least. Because I know, like we started like I wish we could have started recording like one episode, like one session sooner.
Episode before we started.
Yeah, it would have like put a really good, just intro pacing for it. But we start out and it's like travel and this and then we get to the Fort Thunderhead and it's like, oh, okay, what the fuck? I guess that's what this campaign is. And we get to the city and it's just so slow and dense. And I don't say this in a bad way. It's just like there's so many scenes and so many things and conversations that need to happen. And it's like every 5 hours in game, there's a new world-shattering revelation for 3.5 days or whatever it's been, maybe slightly longer. And it definitely was pretty slow moving. For those who are looking for, the dungeon crawls or the big actiony stuff. So, buckle up.
Yeah. It's picking up.
Things are happening.
To touch back on an earlier point, because this is a very plot heavy, story heavy campaign, having episode 9 where it's just puzzle and get a little bit of information for it is a change of pace that I'll say is refreshing only because it's breaks the norm.
Yeah.
And then we get back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually
still good, but
that was intentional. So I was actually gonna start stuff out. You were supposed to do this before the hiatus happened. I was gonna start stuff out with a little drinking game and like a little contest at the Crowbar, and I was gonna turn that into like a little mini thing that was gonna be like a side like half episode, probably like an hour and a half, and then we were gonna get back to the normal stuff. And instead, hiatus, life, all that stuff happens. I'm like, hey, well, let's have our game. And it's like, we have 4 people. And I'm like, ah, fuck. It's like, damn it. Do we do an unrelated one shot? Do we whatever? And actually, it was Iron Dan. It was like, let's just go see A. And I was like, holy shit, this is why I gave you that fucking plot device. How stupid am I? And everyone was like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, cool. But there was one really big issue, is that I had spent the last 7 weeks working with Melody on bringing in Tinny. Tomorrow was when this all happened. So I was like, oh, well, this is annoying. And thanks for rescheduling everything in your week to make this happen. But unfortunately, we don't need Tinny. So we need to be up until midnight and figure this out. So Ivy was created the night before. And I will say again, I'm very confident we will see more of Ivy. Probably both with the party and separately.
I'm excited.
Because there's some really cool shit that we did. So Melody's brilliant. Also as a DM, just so many great ideas, and the two of us, we work really well together in terms of like brainstorming. So we went I went overboard with the character and story elements. So there's a lot there, and I gotta cut myself off there before I slip up and say something I shouldn't. But eventually, the Ivy story is going to be so cool when people learn what it is.
Give me all your secrets. I want to know them.
No, hell no. We're playing the long game. We are.
We have a podcast. We can crack open the nut a little bit.
No, you can't.
Little bits here and there.
Nope. I keep my secrets.
Maybe not for the future, but at least for what you were planning in the past.
Sometimes
and
there's
how
still
you
some
came
stuff
to
that
it.
I can't talk on.
Of course.
Like there is a paladin who died very early on. In the marketplace when you guys met Milo, and I forget who, but someone was like, "Could you tell us like what was up with that?" And no, I can't. I actually can't tell you what's up with that person who you never knew their name and they died instantly.
Great.
Yeah, I can't say anything.
What, the paladin that had Milo in the
Yeah, the one who did real bad and just fucking died horribly. Yeah,
one-shotted.
it was so bad. But I also wanted to bring up, Ben, you will notice that at least for some amount of time, I'm not doing my physical 3D maps. I've been doing some digital stuff because of life, and it's very, very slowly getting the required furniture to like set my room up. You can see I have my crappy shelf back here. And I don't have the infrastructure, it's not really the word, but whatever, in place to have my shit organized. So there is some digital map stuff, which I am always sad about, but it works well enough. But I say this because the 3D maps will be back. I got a resin 3D printer recently instead of the plastic, the FDM ones I've been using. So if things go well, and it's a resin printer, so they won't. But if things go well, I will actually have much better prints for the minis of the party, because clearly the ones I've been using are just monochromatic, just because I was like, I just need a visual.
Right.
So now that we have character art coming out very soon, I don't imagine it's going to be for episode 11, because that airs tomorrow. But hopefully for 12, I'll actually be able to unveil all of that, and then before long, hopefully we'll have real minis, and I'll get back to like making my maps and stuff. But
It's gonna be so good.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Izzy, anything you wanted to bring up or say, or things you wish you would have done in these past 2 episodes?
There's so much that could have been done, but not that Willie ever thinks about it. She's just riding the wind. But she's going through a bit of a bumpy ride at the moment, and you'll see where that turns out.
Great.
Just having
Quite
some
literally.
Revelations.
Oh boy. I was like, oh, quite literally, a bumpy ride. Skyship in a storm. Nice one.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
figuratively and literally. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Yeah, I even like So after this one, I even like messaged Izzy, was like, I'm not trying to torture you and Quilly. It's just kind of how things had to happen. Also, I guess I didn't ask this, Ben. What's your theory on what's going on with this on this cliffhanger?
Man, is it core, yes or no? Probably. Well, something had to have PK Lightninged Volcar back onto the ship. But is it core saving him for something core wasn't doing? Or there's also the pet theory in the back of the head of like, oh right, remember Chaos? Who just wants, is that her name? The one, the big
Siren?
Siren, yes.
Yeah, the siren.
Yeah. It's like, are they doing something fun up here just to like try to get them to finish up the quest to mess with her brother? Like, I'm bad at theorizing, and this has so many possibilities, and I'm also very bad of like, oh, there's this obvious thing in front of me, but I'm like, no, it's not the obvious thing. Think of something else.
I mean, that is a reasonable approach to everything I do.
That's the other part of it.
You know me well enough to know that, like, yeah, if you think you can predict it, you're probably wrong. That's usually how I try to write things. And also, there's a lot of strings right now, so it makes sense that people might not have a clear idea. But that's cool. That's all I wanted to ask. I won't say anything.
I don't have a clear idea.
I'm a dick, so you'll find out.
Yeah.
But
I don't have a clear idea, but yes.
Cool. Awesome. I think that's all I have, though. And this one's been a little long-winded, and we've been a little zany today, but it's fine. That's how last night was recording as well. We were a little crazy, but yeah, I think that's a decent spot to close things out.
Thank the Red Bull boys for their contributions. They both had things take them away, but hope all is well. We'll see them again soon. Izzy, thank you again for coming back. I'm having this two-faced kind of expression of like, ooh, more Izzy backstory. Oh, it's all trauma.
Yep. It's all trauma.
Always has been.
You'll see. There's a lot happening.
I don't think you're well. Okay. You're not going to expect what it is that we're talking about. That's all I'll say. It's
mixed emotions. We'll say.
I'll start talking, and you'll be like, "Huh," and then 5 minutes later, you'll be like, "That's not what I was predicting at all." So, but anyway, thank you, Ben, for hosting this. Even if it's been so long, we all forgot the name of our own show because we're a well-oiled machine. Thank you. I hope you've been enjoying it, and I hope you enjoy the next 2 episodes that are just so nice and boring and chill.
Yeah, nothing but happiness and sunshine.
Yeah, and for everyone watching or listening, thank you.
Let me roll an insight check. Hold on.
Perception.
5. Yeah, it will be. It'll be pretty good. I can't wait.
Damn it! It's just off the screen. I can't let it die. Damn it. Whatever. It's a 5. I'm definitely saying words. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and or listening. Like, subscribe, follow, blah blah blah, Twitch, YouTube, all the other social medias. Episode 12 at the start, I talk about a lot of upcoming projects and stuff that are being worked on for the channel and otherwise, so if you have any interest in that whatsoever for some reason, come check that out. And I don't know, I guess we'll be back in a couple weeks with more bullshit. So, happy gaming.